guys, it's Barbara. Welcome back to our channel where we talk all things branding, web design, and online marketing. We upload new videos once a week, so please subscribe if you like our content. Today I'm going to talk about networking, specifically networking for introverts. If you haven't guessed it, I am an introvert. I am very introverted. Mark is too. So that makes networking a little bit harder for us. We don't necessarily like going to live events or getting in front of people. We're a little bit shy, and a lot of people in the online world are, so it can be a little difficult to promote your business and get out in front of people if you feel a little uneasy going to these events. So I wanted to make this a video to really talk about ways that you can network and promote your business if you are a shy, introverted person. Before we get started, I want to just talk about the difference between introverted versus being extroverted, because there seems to be a stigma that introverts are not good at running businesses or they're not good at promoting themselves, and that's really not true. You can be an introverted person and be very successful and promote yourself just fine. Extroverted people, the same thing. They can be really bad at promoting their business, even though they like getting in front of people. So I just want to talk about the difference. So an introvert is a person that loses energy in front of crowds or being in front of a lot of people. And an extrovert gains energy. And that's really the only difference between the two. So it's not a flaw if you're an introverted person versus an extroverted person. It's just a different type of personality. That's all it is. Here are some tips that I have if you are an introverted person and you're trying to promote your business. The first thing that I would recommend is starting online. So join some Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, any online communities that you can be a part of. Join those and start to contribute to those regularly. This is going to help position you as an expert, and it's going to be a lot easier to talk to people online if you're an introvert than it would be to talk to them face to face. And people have questions all the time that you might be able to answer, and you'll really get a sense of what these groups are about from their online communities. So if they do have offline events, you'll get to know the people in the group and really kind of figure out what it is that the group does and how it's structured and stuff like that. My second tip would be to go to offline events that have some sort of speaker or workshop attached to them. Those are nice because you don't have to spend the entire time talking to people. If you're an introvert, this can be really daunting, especially if you're really shy. So what I like to do is go to events that have some sort of speaker or workshop attached to them so that I can spend part of the time networking and getting to know people, and then I can relax and sit and listen to somebody else talk. And then at the end of the day, I learned something that I can use for my business. So it's kind of a win-win. If you're an introvert, I definitely recommend trying to find those events that have a speaker with them or some sort of workshop where you're not going to be just talking to people the entire time. My third tip would be to avoid any groups that have some crazy requirements. I'm going to tell you a little story. A couple of years ago, I got invited to go to a networking event by somebody that I had met at another networking event. He reached out and said, "Hey, I think you'd be really good for this group." So I was up for it because you never know who you're going to meet, right? So I went to this group and I immediately felt uneasy because I didn't know any of the people, and they had all these crazy rules. Like if you didn't show up, you had to find a replacement. So basically, showing up every week was mandatory, no matter if you had an emergency or you were on vacation or what. You had to show up every week. And to me, that's a little silly because we all get busy, we have busy lives, and networking is kind of an option, in my opinion. If I'm super busy, I don't spend tons of time networking because I have work to do. So I didn't want to have to go to this group every week if I really wasn't looking for business. So that was the first thing that made me feel uneasy. And the second thing was that they made you refer people within the group, and you can only refer people within the group, and you had to meet a certain number of referrals per month. And I didn't like this at all, because as an introvert, I found the people to be very pushy, and I didn't really know them at all. I didn't know anything about their business. So if I joined this group, I of course would get to know them, but people come from industries that, it's not unique. I know plenty of realtors, plenty of insurance agency people, stuff like that. And I shouldn't have to just refer people within that group. In my opinion, if you're not that good at your job, I'm going to refer somebody that's better. I'm sorry. So I didn't like that. And I just didn't like the pushiness, and it made me feel very uncomfortable. And another thing that I didn't like was this 30-second introduction BS. That's just ridiculous in this day and age. Honestly, people were getting up and they were doing their 30-second introduction, and nobody was even paying attention. And then I was like, I'm shy, I don't know these people, I don't like this, and nobody even seems to care, so why are we doing this in the first place? So as an introvert, I would say avoid any of those kinds of groups and just focus on groups that are more casual. They don't make you do anything that you don't want to do. They don't require you to show up to meetings every week, and they just provide a better experience for somebody that's a little uneasy, a little shy. So those are my 3 tips for networking when you are an introvert. If you have tips of your own, please share them in the comments. I would love to know what your thoughts are on this topic. If you are an introvert, what do you do as far as networking to promote your business? I'd really like to know what you think. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to your YouTube channel, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.